Hello, I'm going to show you how to change brake pads on a 2009 to 2014 Yamaha R1. I also believe the 2007 and 2008 has the same calipers. For a lot of you, that's probably an easy job to do. But if you are like me and like to watch a video before you change your brake pads, then this is for you. That way you know how to prepare. It's fairly easy and probably take a couple of minutes. All you really need is a needle hook or maybe a skinny screwdriver or anything that has a needle in it. What you are seeing here, those are optional, and I'll explain to you later how it comes to use. As you look at the brake caliper, that's what you really see. Let me put more lighting in it. And if you see I put red RTV on the pins, that's to prevent them from spinning. I like extra safety, and that's why I said it's optional. That's totally up to you. What you need to get to is the locking pins under the pads carrier, but I'm going to show you the other side. I have already had those removed, that way you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here how the pins are looking under those pad carrier, and all you really need to do is to pop these off with the needle or whatever you have in place. So let's say this number one off, this is the second one, each pin has two. Once that happens, you could pull this pin out, and again I put RTV on both sides, so I'm gonna push it with the needle. Once you pull this pin out, you could easily access the pads. Here, the brake pads, I've already changed them, but I just decided to make the video. So you could pull your old brake pads out. This is one, two, and this is for the top piece. Remember, we have 3 pistons and 2 pieces of the pad for this R1 model, but let's focus on the top. So let's say you pick the old pads out. When you put them back in, it goes this way. That's going to be for the far side. Slide them in and make sure these holes align. Now this side, and again the pad goes against the rotor. Slide them in. Let's see if it want to work. Okay, and same thing, I align those holes. I showed you this piece earlier, and you don't have to really use this, but that's what I have. So sometimes the piston tend to come out and you wouldn't be able to push the new pad in. So you need to push the piston back in the caliper. And I highly recommend not using anything metal, so you wouldn't use this piece because that would scratch the piston, and that would be really bad. You don't want to scratch the piston ever. So you want to use the rubber piece, or honestly you could even use your fingers if you pick to, or if a sharp towel to push the pistons back. Anything that really works. So now that we have the new pads in, what you need to do is pick up your pad carrier back in. Those are brand new, so you could see the arrow. If yours are old, just swipe them and you could see the arrow. And honestly, there is only one way for it to go back in. So I'm gonna come in, and if you, excuse me, if you could see this ring right here, that's what the pin gonna go through. So that's the way it's gonna go on the pads. If you could see through the hole, that's where I'm gonna send the pin through. So here I pick up the pin, send it through the pads on the pad carrier. Need to push the pad back a little bit. Okay, other side. Okay. Nice. And the pin is through. Now I need to rotate it to see where I'm gonna send the cotter pins to. Okay, now that the pin is in, I rotated just enough. That way I can slide those cotter pins through easy through this hole. My lighting is probably not good enough for you to see the hole, but that's how it's gonna go. Here we go. So first one in, and the far side is a little bit hard to see, but it's aligned with the one on the closer side. So me, by looking on this side, I already know where is the hole gonna be. And here we go. Both cotter pins are in. Once they are in, I rotated upwards, so now it's in a vertical. And those will continue to rotate unless you do like what I do and you put RTV or silicone on both sides. Now that the top side is done, we go to the bottom side, and same way, it has a pin and each one has two cotter pins, so you pull them out. That's the first one, and that's the second one. Now that both cotter pins are out, I go back to the pin, push it my way. Once I push it, pull it out. And those are the two holes that I was talking about. The brake pads, pull them out. That's the far side. And that's the close side. So old one's out, new one's back in. Let's put the far side. Align it with the hole. Same thing. Close side. And align it with the hole. Now, just for clarification, on the side that already has the pads carrier, you could see the pin right here. Probably in my lighting you can't see it, but it's right here, and you could twist it down Now you have access to both cotter pins, and all you need to do is pull them out. Pull this pin out. Once this pin comes out, you could easily take this piece, and then the pad's gonna be accessible for you to pull them out and change. Now I'm gonna go back and finish the bottom of the other side. Okay, now the arrow on this piece, you could see it pointed up, and that's where you want to be pointed. On the bottom one, let's see, the arrow is pointed forward, and the arrow gonna end up pointing this way. So right now, if you see the holes or the pad or the pin gonna go through, and it's also gonna go through this hole. So I'm gonna go like this and push it forward. Just enough without pushing the pads. Now I'm gonna send the pin, oops. I apologize, but I'm working with one hand so I can hold the phone. Okay, let me do it slow. Okay, the pad moved. Let's see. Okay, now the pin is through both the pads and the pad carrier or holder, whichever you want to call it. Now I gotta find, okay, the hole for the pin. Okay, here I found it. So here I'm bring the cotter pin. Take my needle off. First pin in. And like I said, they're aligned, so judge them by this position. I'm gonna align the other cotter pin the same way. Now both are in. I'm gonna rotate this back up, and the job now is done. So I don't think you need to watch the rest of it. What I'm gonna end up doing is clean up the old RTV and put a fresh RTV, just enough on the pin, that way it prevents it from rotating. And like I said, it's a quick job. It should take you 5 minutes to do each side. If you struggle with it, or if you need any question, feel free to drop in the comments, and I will gladly answer you. I apologize for the bad video and lightning, but I just wanted to do what I could, and it's better than nothing. Thank you for watching.